Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to RC Insiders. I got something cool here, guys, that I think everybody's going to want to check out and put to good use in the RC remote control field. What I got here is an ultrasonic parts cleaner. This one is from VEVOR. If you guys have been around for a while, I've become a real fan of VEVOR tools. Real top quality stuff that I've had for a while now and has not failed me yet. So I've used an ultrasonic cleaner before, but never a nice one like this. This is the VEVOR. This is a 6-liter. Here in the United States, we call that about 1.5 gallons, maybe 1.6 gallons. It's meant for cleaning things like jewelry, rings, car parts, glasses, sunglasses even. You can clean basically just about anything inside of an ultrasonic cleaner. You can vary what you clean with it. Today I'm going to be using like a all-purpose, just a general ultrasonic cleaning powder. This is what I've had luck with before. You can pick these up anywhere. I buy this at Harbor Freight. You can get it basically anywhere. It's only a few bucks for that, and it generally lasts for a couple years with what I do with it. I clean a lot of small parts, so. The VEVOR though, this is a nice one. Never really had a nice one before. It's got a nice industrial setting like type display here on the front. I'll plug it in here in just a second. Like I said, it holds about 1.6 gallons, so you can clean quite a bit of your hand tools and stuff like that in here. Car parts, carburetors, anything that'll fit inside the thing right here. VEVOR does have a nice line of these things from, I think it's 1 gallon all the way up to like huge, like 30, 40, 50 gallon ultrasonic cleaners. The 6-liter, that would be 3 2-liters. If you guys are watching from America, you know, anybody says 2-liter, you're generally talking about a 2-liter of pop or soda. So imagine 3 2-liters, we'll call it that. The industrial look on it, the whole tank is stainless steel, so you can use quite a variation of chemicals in here while you're cleaning. You don't have to add chemicals to it. You can just clean with water. It's got a nice little drain here on the side, so when you're done with it, you don't have to pick up all that. And then we'll check out inside. Comes with your plug, comes with a little kit to add this hose to your drain. So if you wanted to keep like a 5-gallon bucket on the floor or something, we'll get this hooked up. It'll hook up to here and you can run it over the side there and just drain it out right inside of a bucket. So real quick, I'll plug it in before we get things running just so we can check out the display. This is the little basket that you're going to put your tools and parts inside of. And what the basket does is that's going to keep everything off the actual bottom of the unit. Because if you don't know how an ultrasonic cleaner works, basically once you fill it with water, the unit is going to send just millions of little bubbles. They're called cavitation bubbles, and they actually implode instead of explode. So that's what's going to be going on inside here. We'll get a good shot of it when we drop some stuff in it, but it's basically cavitation bubbles. And they work really well. They get into a lot of places that you just can't get. So we'll get it plugged in here in the back. That's where the plug goes right there. And it's got a little on-off button. And it does have, I believe, a GFI inside of it already, just in case. So we'll plug that in real quick. And we'll turn it on. Remember guys, you don't actually want to start the operation of the unit until you have water in it. So you don't want to turn on the heating element before you have water actually in the unit. What you got on the front is you can set the temperature right here all the way up to 80 degrees Celsius. And again guys, anywhere from 1 to 80. And basically what 80 degrees is in the United States we'll call that 176 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's going to create some super hot water right over, and that would be your on-off button. And then over here we have a timer. You can set anywhere from 1 all the way up to 30 minutes so you don't forget what you're doing. So you can set your parts in here, get them cooking, get them washing, you know, and then you can move on to other things and you could come back to it. I generally do everything inside these things at 15 minutes. If you got something really caked on, something worse, you know, you might want to let it run for 30 minutes. So in a nutshell, it's a parts cleaner. This one just happens to be a 6-liter parts cleaner. So what I'll normally do is I'll run my temperature all the way up to its highest setting, because that's where I've always had the most luck, and right around 15 minutes depending on the parts that we put in there. So I'm going to go get some water and we'll get this thing filled up, and we'll grab some things that I need to clean around here, and we'll put this thing to the test. So the VEVOR Ultrasonic 6-liter parts cleaner. So give me a minute, we'll go grab some water and we're going to fire this thing up, and you can hear it and see what it does. Alright guys, as you can see, we got it heating up. It's up to about 68 degrees Celsius. We'll go ahead and start this process. It'll make its way up to 80. The temperature at 68 is somewhere around 155 degrees or so, so we're just a little shy. We're going to go ahead and set our timer here to 15 minutes. Every button press, guys, it'll go up or down in increments of 1 minute. So 68 degrees Celsius, even I believe at like 150 degrees, guys, within a couple seconds, water can give you a 3rd degree burn. So please take care if you're going to be using one of these. The lid is already going to be hot. So we've already added just takes less than a teaspoon of that that powder that I showed you for ultrasonic cleaners. What I got in here, guys, I got some brake parts for a drum brake job I'm doing. If you guys have ever done drum brakes, it'll drive you crazy until you get the hang of it. I got an old pair of side cutters, wire cutters that won't open anymore. Gonna see what it'll do. Guys, with the ultrasonic cleaner, there's a big benefit with like springs, bike chains, jewelry, you know, places where there's a lot of stuff where it can't get into. So just carefully, guys, what you want to make sure you're not stacking things on top of each other, because you want full penetration all the way around. If you look on the bottom of the basket, you'll see those little legs that are on there. That's to keep the parts suspended. So carefully put that in there, guys. At this point, you definitely do not want to touch the water, because it will burn you, and it will burn you good, and it's only going to get hotter. We're already up to 70 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to go ahead and push the start button before I put the lid on it, just to give you an idea what's happened. Remember, guys, we're operating at 40 kilohertz, which is the frequency that it operates at. And what it's going to do, it's going to be sending, what was the word I used? Bubbles. It's going to be sending bubbles that actually implode and impact and then implode up against the parts that are being washed. So that's going to happen. They're called cavitation bubbles. That's what I was looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and push the start button, and you're going to see that it's going to start making that noise, and it's going to instantly start to clean these parts. So this is what happens when you push the start button. You'll hear it start to zap immediately. And what's going on right now is we have ultrasonic cleaning. Pretty awesome. So we're going to let this run, guys, for about 15 minutes. If you're in a shop environment, the noise is going to be pretty negligible. You're not really going to notice it too much. If you're in a quiet environment, it could aggravate the old sound, hearing a little bit. So if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, you can hear it, but it's not terrible. So we're going to let this thing work, do its 15 minutes of magic. Our temperature is already up to 71, so we'll see what's going to happen, and we'll check it out in about 15 minutes and see what happens. Alright guys, so we've had it run in about 15 minutes. It should be shutting off here on its own. You see the temperature made it up to 80 degrees, so right there it shut off all by itself at 80 degrees. Let's take a look inside. Remember, guys, it's going to be super hot, so don't touch that lid. If you look inside, you can see a whole bunch of dirty water. We're going to pull these parts out. Remember, guys, we're not expecting miracles. It's just a parts cleaner. It ain't going to make nothing brand new. So be very careful, guys. That water is still 180 degrees or 176 degrees. Be super careful with what you're touching. and I could see it got a whole bunch of surface gook off of everything. The big test for me with this one's going to see if I can get those side wire cutters to work. So if you look down at it, you can actually see that my spring is green. Remember guys, everything in here is going to be super hot, but I'm super anxious and I want to get that I want to get those cutters out and see if they work. My spring should be working now. Should be able to use these again. Yep, brought functionality back to those. My cotter keys look almost brand new at this point. Those were pretty bad, pretty gunked up. One of my return springs, I can see that it's green again. And remember guys, they are super, super hot. So we should be able to reuse these again. We got the ends on our adjuster. Got almost all that gook out of the important part. You can see that. Here's our adjuster itself. I don't know if you can see inside, but that's the important part. Nice clean water coming out of the inside. The outside, it took everything off the surface. Like I said guys, it's not going to make everything look brand new. If you get something that's heavily rusted, they make all kinds of different solutions for these. They make solutions that are specifically catered to rust. So if you got a lot of rusty parts, you know, you add that solution in it, it'll take care of that rust. It'll get it right off of there. So the adjuster is looking okay. Get that other spring out of there. Remember guys, everything's still hot. Got that pin. It took most of the gook and the hard stuff off the edges where I needed it. That's a retaining pin. I don't know if you guys are familiar with drum brakes, but there's a lot of parts involved in it. So here's my true test. Is my cutters that I couldn't open beforehand, so we're gonna see what happens. And it took almost all the gook off the outside, and look at that, opens right up with no issues. So that's what I was saying, one of the big advantages with ultrasonic cleaners guys is it's gonna get inside and clean a lot of the stuff that you just cannot get to by hand. So it made these took almost all the gook off the outside. But the important part is it cleaned the inside, which was all gunked up and rusted up inside the mating surfaces, and now they run just like the day I bought them, effortless. So that's my true test for this thing. It worked out great. Now I can use these again. Brake parts did a great job. Remember guys, go ahead and shut your temperature off. I want that heating element to stop working, and remember that timer button is your on-off button. That instantly starts it working, and you start getting all those cavitation bubbles and floating on your parts. No guys, don't stick your finger in there. Alright, so as far as the VEVOR, on the review side of things, it worked great. It worked just as well or better as any other ultrasonic cleaner I've ever seen or used. The impressive part for me was the bubbles' ability to, you know, really get inside where other things can't, where you can't get in it. It opened these right up for me, and they're brand new. The cavitation bubbles actually get inside of everything. So these are going to function great now. Just like new. Review wise, hey, it's a good unit guys. I've trusted VEVOR with a lot of other tools and they haven't let me down yet. The Ultrasonic Cleaner worked just as well as most of all their other tools. So this one is the 6-liter unit. Remember guys, it will come with an extra drain tube here if you want to just set your bucket on the ground, and you can just drain it like that. Fill up your bucket, get rid of that old nasty water that came off of whatever parts you were cleaning. Remember guys, that water can be reused. You know, it's not like you have to dump it out every time and add new cleaner and all that stuff. You can use it several times. I've used it, you know, up to 5-10 times. The cleaner solutions aren't that expensive, so, you know, adding new water and new cleaner, if you want to do it every time, it's not like it's going to cost you that much money. So good looking unit, sturdy. Remember guys, it does get up to 176 degrees, and I believe at around 140, 150 degrees, water is going to burn your skin very quickly, so use gloves if you have to. The top, I can grab the little handle, but the top of the lid does get extremely hot. The sides of the tank got warm, but they didn't get hot. So we're going to call this one a win from VEVOR. This is the Ultrasonic Cleaner. If you guys are into quality tools at affordable prices, check out some of the other VEVOR reviews that we've done over the past few years. They've worked out great. I'll just link right to them. You can check out all VEVOR stuff. Basically, same quality tools at half the price or even less sometimes. So we'll call the VEVOR 6-liter Ultrasonic Cleaner a win. Guys, hope you're having a great summer, and until next time, happy bashing.